Mervox. But we have a lot of series today, guys. We have 3 entire best of threes. With that second game in Lunar Snake Trophy Season 5. lot of the previous game. They ended up getting at the very in the early to mid game they had a 5,000 lead, but Kopites found a comeback. And then later on in the mid game they had a 10,000 lead, but Kopites found a comeback. Certainly did seem that Mervox, with the kind of draft that they had, they should have been able to close out that game. They shouldn't have given up the lead in the same way that they had. But I believe the difference maker for Kopites was Hatchet. He came in with the ravages that Mervox simply couldn't fight back with. Let's see what the case will be this time around, as a Viper is banned out by Mervox. A bit of a respect ban coming in for the Kopite side. Mervox will go for the Disruptor and the Timbersaw. They actually end up with the Timbersaw pick. This is surprising, considering how strong the hero is in the current meta. Kopites will have some squishy heroes. Not exactly too sure of this Ancient Apparition pick. Does seem incredibly squishy. Sure, you have, the Ancient Apparition is a good hero against a Timbersaw. Just negate his all of his healing. But at the end of the day, when you come in with pure damage like the Timbersaw does, the heroes like an Ancient Apparition can't actually survive all that easily. You do have the Tiny, I believe, a hero that is incredibly strong. We'll probably see a lot of Tiny mid being played now. The Avalanche is now an AoE stun, which means you can't use any items inside of it when you are hit by the Avalanche. Like, you can't use yourself up to dodge it, you can't Glimmer Cape yourself, you can't force stuff yourself out, you can't blink out, none of it. You can't use any spells either. Spells like the Leap or even trying to Remnant away if you're an Ember Spirit, like in this game, is not going to be possible. So, Kopite certainly, with this Doom, that's Avalanche, toss combination followed up with the Doom coming in is pretty good. It's something that Mervox is going to struggle against, particularly because there's just so much anti-healing. Ancient Apparitions, Ice Blast, Doom's Doom. It's just what the ability is called. My hands are tied with that one. But the Timbersaw should be dealt with pretty easily. But Kopites may want to prioritize or use the Doom on this Ember Spirit. It just really depends on the kind of damage output they come in with. We'll see if they're snowballed, we'll see if they're behind. I think they have some good ways to play about this, but it should be the carries that determine whose lineup actually comes out ahead. Templar Assassin, Medusa banned up by Mervox, as Kopites ban out the Ursa and the Weaver, and the Abaddon.
Team pick.
Kopites.
5 seconds remaining.
Thinking about what they want to be picking up. Huskarn banned up by Mervox, so they're not sure if this Tiny is a carry, or if this Doom is. It should be a Doom offlane, right? It should be just a Doom offlane and the Tiny on the mid lane. I'm not sure of the Mervox, the last few bans from the Mervox. Meanwhile, Kopites are right on the mark. I mean, it's obvious to tell that Mervox are going to be picking up a carry. Unless they want to play a version of the Ember or Timber carry, which is never going to happen. Kopites, they'll just go with what works. The Wind Ranger, last time around, that was pretty good. We'll see if it's also going to be good here. Mervox, last pick up for them. Who are they going to pick up to challenge this Wind Ranger? You also have to get through the Doom, and then just a heavy amount of disables coming in from the Tiny, as well as the Ancient Apparition. It does seem like Mervox have their work cut out for them in by trying to pick up a carry that can survive and also win against the carry matchup. I think it's really hard with the way that Kopites have drafted, but certainly possible. Perhaps. Okay, they go in for the Nature's Prophet. This is interesting because Youngji, while usually the Nature's Prophet is able to outscale most carries, I think Wind Ranger is one of those carries that actually is really good against the Nature's Prophet. You just, level 25 for the Wind Ranger makes it undispellable. So the Wind Run cannot be countered by anything other than an MKB. Sure, the Wind Chucky may not go for the level 25 town. We'll see how the game transpires, if there are nullifiers being built up and whatnot. But ideally, Nature's Prophet, the MKB is going to be a bit late. So Chucky will have a good time. Let's see though, because Mervox do certainly have the magical damage between Playhard and Hami Ibrahim, the Willow and the Disruptor. I think they do have enough damage to take Chucky down. At the same time, they have the Ember Spirit with the Searing Chains set up for the Timber Saw to just come in and burst Chucky down. So before the BKB comes out for Chucky, he is going to be really vulnerable in this lane. Kopites will need to create a bit of a buffer in the mid zone there, where they can keep Chucky tucked in behind them and they can provide that front line for Chucky. It will be up to Anya, who will just have to go in for the blink avalanche toss. It will have to be Hatchet who will have to get those dooms off, and Jolibe to provide that ice blast. You do have a save mechanism coming in by Cassie with the disruption, and the demonic purge, actually, and now that I think about it, demonic purge in this game is so good against the Timber. The scepter for the Timber isn't exactly a good item anymore. $20,000 games played by Chucky. This is, well, an impressive amount of Dota played. I think I'm not even close to 10,000. I might not even be close to 8,000. Ice Fog. Interesting. I wonder if that's a play on Mr. Ice Frog, but...
I'll tear you limb from limb.
Certainly seems like there's a bit of camaraderie between both of these two teams.
I waited ages, but it was worth it.
Should be resuming into the game shortly, so don't worry about that, guys. Just need some of the issues to be fixed, but they should be fixed, There's not really... Discord has some issues sometimes with the mics. I don't know if these teams use Discord to communicate, but surely it's probably Discord or TeamSpeak or something like that. Some good voice comms or voice over IP comms. Is that what they call it? I'm not a tech person, so I really don't know what the VoIP is. And I don't even know if Discord or TeamSpeak utilizes that feature. If it is, I don't even know if that's a feature. Honestly.
30 seconds to battle.
Playhard will walk into the triangle. Jolibe is going to end up going back. As Observer Ward B gets taken down by Nas.
The battle begins.
Hatchet able to acquire the bounty rune. As it is a 2 for 2, similar to that last game. But last game we had a first blood come out, which will not happen this time around. I think both teams will just play it safe, play it stable. Let's see, mid lane, normally this is a lane where Kui is fine, but because of the recent change to the Avalanche, which to be fair, doesn't really mean much, apart from the fact, actually this is very important, it actually does mean much. Kui previously with the Avalanche pre-patch You could use a sleight of fist when you get hit by the avalanche in certain scenarios. Now you can't. You can't even remnant away. So that might be a factor. Of course, it's still... I don't think it's going to be a factor to take this Ember down because you do have the Flame Guard. I think Anya doesn't have as much magical damage unless there's some rotation that can come in. So at the very least, Kui should be able to farm up, but so too should Anya. He has a very high base damage on the Tiny, 71 plus 10, you know, with the tree grab also coming in. Play hard plus Nas. Ooh. Neutral creep takes out Cassie. Interesting. That would have been first blood otherwise. As bot lane, Young G, Nature's Prophet versus the Doom, not exactly a bad matchup, particularly if you can glimpse someone back. Now, you do have a Shadow Demon, so the disruption can essentially provide some support, but it's actually towards that top lane. Jollibee ends up going down. Playhard will drop first blood, but Playhard will be traded out. Chucky was able to pick up the kill.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
In an exchange that actually favors Mervox. They got the first blood, but at the same time, you gave the solo kill experience to the Wind Ranger, as well as the solo kill to the Wind Ranger, so it's not going to be all that bad. Helmy needs to be careful. As Cassie will go back to the creep lane to farm.
Radiant structures are fortified.
19 lost hits for Anya, 20 lost hits for Kui. It is a bit of a static early game, especially in comparison to what we had yesterday. Or not yesterday, last game. Feels like it was just yesterday, but it was even closer. It was just literally 10 minutes ago. But all of these lanes are doing pretty much okay. The Doom is behind, you know, but he has the Gluttony facet. He has 2 charges on the Devour. Even though he hasn't taken the Devour, sooner or later he will. So his farming speed will accelerate once he does have it. Ember Spirit disrupted by Cassie. Speaking of disrupted, Disruptor is there. Helmy Ibrahim will be able to throw out the Thunder Strike. Cassie will end up going down, despite of that being a play that Kopites were trying to go for. As I will also adjust the logo so that you guys can see Kopites on the Dire side. It should be up on your screens now. I do it every broadcast because it can be a bit confusing. Nat's able to dodge, or rather just sidestep the power shot. Will be able to keep himself safe. At the same time, Doom towards that bot lane activates the Scorched Earth. Helmy Ibrahim is going to potentially end up going down, but he did find the glimpse on Hatchet. Glyph coming out on the Dire creeps as they want to overrun Helmy Ibrahim. The auto attacks coming in by Cassie will be enough. Playhard makes his way over, does not have the Shadow Realm, has the maze, caught Hatchet. That might have been enough with another Sprout coming about by Young G. Unfortunately, he blocked Playhard's own entry. And that will mean that they cannot secure the kill, as even towards that top side, Chucky able to find the kill shot on Nas, and they throw out the high five in celebration. Nas going down is a big deal. You want your Timbersaw to do well because really he's the only buffer you have. He's the only frontliner. He is the only one that can come up with the follow-up pure damage or magical. It is all pure damage, but you know the follow up non-physical damage. The physical damage will of course come in from the Nature's Prophet, but you need Nas to have an okay game. One death doesn't really mean much, but should be careful now.
Radiant are scanning.
Anya. Kui will go for the jump on forward. Jolibe in trouble. Trying to go for the teleport out, will not be able to find it. He was too close to the flame guard and will just burn away.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire are scanning.
Youngji. Able to throw out the sprouts. But is forming up. He has the power treads. It's just very slow by both of these two teams. You know, they have the necessary tools to make a move. Have yet to see Tiny come in, Anya come in for any kind of move, Avalanche Toss, but he doesn't exactly have a Haste Rune or Amplified Damage or anything like that. So he's just gonna farm up for his Blink Dagger. I expect once they have the Blink, they'll go for the plays. There is a focus fire on Nas. He has a Timber Chain, will make his way towards the low ground as a Disruptor comes in. So too does Youngji, and they'll be able to turn it around on towards Chucky, who wandered a bit too far forward, and even Cassie will be a casualty of that little misplay. The Tiny comes in for the Avalanche Toss, actually ends up finding a double kill, a triple kill with the Tree Toss. The difference maker for the Kopites, as Playhard is also going to be in trouble. There is an Avalanche coming in. Amplified Damage Rune denied away by Playhard, but he will end up going down. This will essentially be a quad kill. If Anya can actually find the kill there. He knows where Playhard is. Can he get the Avalanche? Tree Toss goes out, misses. So essentially just 3 kills, but a great return being found by Anya. As Playhard will go back up to D-Ward this place. Oh man. Playhard spotted out the fact that the Tiny planted those observer wards down and will just teleport back. Meanwhile, Jolibe will come in. Has a sentry, but depends where he plants it.
Dire are scanning.
And they're making a move right from underneath the vision. So this isn't exactly going to be possible. In fact, I believe that observer ward that Jolibe just planted is also going to get dewarded. Because they're pinging it out. This observer is going to be gone. So 2 observer wards from Kopites essentially being taken out, wasted. And you take a look around the map, they don't actually have too much vision left anymore.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom
Youngji throws out the Nature's Wrath. Catches the Doom.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Helmi Ibrahim. has the glimpse at the ready. Doesn't have the static storm though. So they won't be able to do much with this. I think at the end of the day, it's just going to be a bit of posturing by both sides. The real objective is to be able to get this Blink Dagger. Anya will have it now, and I wonder if they'll make a play with this Blink Dagger. You also had a regeneration rune up for Anya, so he's going to be back up to full mana. And Cassie
Radiant's middle tower is
building up quite a few stacks for presumably the Tiny to take. There's also the Ice Vortexes being plotted down for that increased magical damage. Tiny, oh, he tossed Jollibee in. Needs to be careful with that one. As Anya, one more toss, most of these creeps should be cleared up, but ideally you have the Avalanche. Is he going to toss Jollibee in?
Radiant's
Probably not. Oh, he was...
Radiant
He's going to toss Cassie in. Okay, there we go. And he'll be able to clean up the rest of these creeps.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
From the tempest of battle.
Meanwhile, topside,
Dire's
they're allowing Mervox to do whatever they want on that top lane. We'll take a look at the net worth, and it is 5,500 in terms of net worth for Nas. He will be able to get his... I believe it's his Kaya flying in now. And he has a tier 1 tower very low. It's not even going to be a trade because that bottom lane tier 1 tower is pretty healthy. Even the defense signals are coming out by Playhard. They'll bring in Kui to be able, or rather Young Ji, to be able to defend this. As Kui, of course, is their mid laner.
spawn are scanning. Radiant
Teleports through the gate. Bury the hatchet is going to get grabbed up. Throws out the doom, but it is a futile effort. Bury the hatchet will end up falling. But the response does come in. They didn't toss the doom. The timber saw though. So Nas will stay alive. A blunder being made. But despite of that, they were able to find 2 kills. The only question is, aren't they going to get punished for it? Certainly does seem like it with Young Ji being able to take out Jollibee as Nas comes back in with the timber chain and takes out Anya. That toss was not on the timber.
tower is under attack.
They should have tossed the timber. Or at least tossed someone on the timber to take him out. That would have changed everything for Kopites. But they bungled that play. Gave so much away to Mervox. The Timber Saw, instead of dying, he actually ends up being the big winner of that exchange. 1,000 experience going his way, 470 gold going his way. He's almost nearly level 12. Certainly not exactly a great look as Hatchet is going for that Hand of Midas. Maybe on the Doom this item is worth it, but not on anyone else, because the Hand of Midas has just got nerfed up significantly.
Is under attack.
Deceptive rune of invisibility.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Three-man smoke, but it's not by Kopite's side, it's actually by Mervox. Kui has the vessel up. Nas has the Sanjin Kaya. But speaking of Nas, he is going to get grabbed up into the Ice Blast. He will be able to Timber Chain back, and the power shot actually misses. Meanwhile, towards the backline, Kui has grabbed up their supports. They will end up going down as Anya, trying to make his escape, will not be able to do so. Glimpsed back, but actually that glimpse helped him escape. He'll be able to blink out. And the power shot this time around, coming in by Chucky, was not on its mark. So in this game, despite of them actually having a better start, Kopites aren't able to mount up the advantage. They found the Ice Blast, they found their little niche combination on top of the Timber, but he is just too tanky. And quite honestly, they need They need more to be able to take him down. We will get grabbed up, tossed up into the air by Anya, but he will just be able to remnant away. Meanwhile, it's actually Hatchet who will end up going down. Ice Blast is not going to catch Kui. So this is truly not going as planned. Now, despite of that, Mervox aren't actually building up the significant advantage, even though they're getting all of these kills across the board. Chucky is going to be a huge kill to find, and he is going to be a goner. No way to escape from that position. And that is a pretty big kill to find. 16 minutes in, 2,000 lead, not exactly as significant before, because last time around it was 5,000 of a lead. But building up a slow lead for Mervox may actually be the better idea, considering how the last game went out. One team fight turned it all around. As Anya, he is going to die. He's inside of that static storm. Will be able to throw out the avalanche toss. So can he close the gap? He will be able to blink away. Where did he go? He is chased down by creeps here. And with the timber saw coming in, that is going to be 3 heroes falling. 15 and 8. And Mervox once again building up the kind of lead they had last game.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Is being chased down. Hatchet comes in, but the doom was not used. They'll be able to heal, or rather, he'll be able to remnant away. Has the Sange, and this is getting a bit troublesome because Mervox are building up the critical mass. There's another toss back. Doom this time planted around. Kui to use his air exchange, but they will not be able to keep their timber alive. Great kill being found by Kopites as a haste rune was stolen by Playhard. And Kopites, they are being chased here, but a nice shackle shot, avalanche, and a toss found. Kui will lose his life. Ice Blast towards that backline will actually catch Young G. He got hit by the tree toss too. Johnny Bay will not be able to secure the kill, but everyone else from Mervox will still end up falling. Disruption coming in by Cassie, as it's going to be Playhard who will get grabbed up. Hatchet to actually hatchet the kill. And the tower will also go down. It's a complete repeat of that previous game. It's a deja vu. Because Mervox, they had a 4,000 to 5,000 net worth advantage once again at a similar time to that last game, but ended up bungling the entire lead with one mistimed team fight. 2,600 gold going the way of Kopites, 5,000 gold. Everyone on their lineup got about 1,000 gold apart from the Ancient Apparition, who only got 650. But that's okay. Because for Kopites, they're completely back in this game. Pipe of Insight built up by Hatchet. Amantis are almost at the ready, almost. It's still far away, but Chucky is a carry. He will be able to farm it up. Anya with the forced off. I don't necessarily agree with this kind of itemization for a hero like a Tiny. I think heroes like a Tiny need to scale up in terms of damage. Maybe even go for a Sanj and Kaya, you know. But you need damage, and going for the forced off Wind Waker, or maybe even forced off use items like these, they don't scale in terms of damage. A utility based Tiny doesn't feel right. But this is, you know, to his credit, to Anya's credit, this is what most, or rather all mid-tiny magic builders make. It is utility. Tormentor is being poked here, but the Ice Blast is gonna mean the end. Oh, well, Willow was able to dodge the Ice Blast. He was in the Eels, But Anya is coming in. He sees a disruptor. Avalanche will be the disruptors, and he didn't throw the toss though. Once again, Anya bungling what was an easy initiation, as it will be Jolibe's end. Doom is coming in as Hatchet. He will have the Doom and the Avalanche holding a Timber Saw in place, and the Focus Fire will be able to take Naz down at the very least. But they should have been able to get more kills. I suppose Anya saw so many heroes low on their HP, he wasn't able to decide who he wants to go in for. As Youngji will be able to teleport out in time. But is at 21-minute Shrine of Wisdom. Perhaps it shouldn't have been an attempt by Kopite in the first place, as Chucky will end up going down. So too will Hatchet. He will be the one buried here.
Making mistakes is the path to wisdom.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Jolibe goes down. Shackle Shot dodged by Kui. Certainly playing a bit of a Matrix Ember, as there is a Demonic Purge on Kui, but it's not going to matter. Playhard will throw out the Terrorize as a Wind Ranger, and Cassie have to go back. Youngji has come in with a teleportation. Hatchet does not have the Doom, but with the Tiny coming in, the Avalanche Toss will clean up Playhard at the very least. It's 2 supports being lost for just the 1. And again, an exchange favoring Mervox as they're back up to that 6,000 lead. Anya four-stops himself back, but will get glimpsed back here. And with the Timber Saw's pure damage, Anya cannot survive. It is Mervox who... To be fair, last game, Kopite's draft had a lot more oomph to it in the mid to late game, right? This game, it doesn't seem like that is going to be the case. Sure, they have the Doom, but they have so much... They have too much utility based. They have too much utility, not enough damage. The only source of damage really is this Wind Ranger, because the Tiny's damage is going to start scaling down with the Avalanche Toss. Roshan going to fall. With Youngji in possession of the Aegis, so much farm on the Distinguished Prophet, you really have to wonder what Kopite's chances possibly can be to find a comeback in this game. Because Chucky does not have any, comparable farm. He's 11,000, 3,000 behind the Nature's Prophet. Chucky going in, throws out the Shackle Shot, but will not find Youngji. I don't think he was ever going to find him with that kind of trajectory. Should have come in from the side like this, but the Nature's Prophet Youngji was probably going to make his escape anyway. He was going to clear up Creep Wave and just exit that position.
Dire are scanning. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
as they continue to farm. I'm not really sure what Kopites are farming for. Are they hoping for a natural comeback? Are they hoping that they'll skill up faster? Because they are playing with a tiny, but they aren't making any kind of moves. Perhaps they're at a bit of a loss on where to actually make that move.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Hui, Sanj and Kaya, as well as a shield rune up for this Ember now. Impossible to take him down when he has a shield rune up. Even if you use the Doom on him. You know, it's the shield rune is like 100% of your max HP. So he essentially has 4,000 HP with shield rune. Blocks pure damage equally, so it's one of the better runes against pure damage. Or rather, it's a good utility to have against pure damage. Cassie dislodges the searing chains as Hatchet is grabbed up. I'm not exactly sure what Hatchet was doing there in that position, as he'll just end up falling here for nothing. How was he posturing in that front line? Certainly a big mistake there, as they still try to take the fight. Helmi Ibrahim will end up going down, but it's Kui who was able to find the searing chains. The crown is going to stun the Wind Ranger as there is a disruption to keep Chucky alive. He is going to be able to go back, has the focus fire to provide a bit of a buffer, but the Ember Spirit comes back in. Will be able to take Chucky down as the Avalanche Shot has not done anything. In fact, Anya has fallen as well. Hui has no more remnants to use, but it's in fact going to be the Timber Saw Nas to hold Cassie in place as a disruption comes out, but I have a feeling that Cassie will be safe. He'll just blink back. Mid lane tower, though, that's what they really came in for. It was Kopites to try and fight back, and Kopites will end up getting punished for it. Disruption comes out by the Doom, Kui, to get disrupted. As bot lane Nas to get hit by the searing chains. Anya is gonna be there, and with 5 heroes on top of the Timber, they will be able to take Nas down. Certainly a big kill to find. Ice Blast is going to catch, or not exactly catch anyone. Helmi Ibrahim will glimpse Chucky, but the Mantis Star will dislodge it. Nice display of the Mantis skill there by Chucky. 2 quick kills, but Kui was able to find a Jolibay towards that backline, which assassinates Kopite's backline support, and will just remnant back. Damage mitigation, but still, it is a good effort, I suppose, by Kopites. Something is better than nothing, as they say. Youngji got hit by the Doom, but he does have the BKB right now. He'll just create a bit of a gap with the Hurricane Pike, as that means that Hatchet is not going to be able to survive. But they do have Chucky, so maybe Hatchet can survive. Chucky needs to take play hard out, will be able to do so, but not until the Terrorize comes out. That will give the space for Kui to be able to pick up the kill and go back in. Searing Chains found on top of Chucky as well as Anya. Chucky will end up going down. Anya will fall. Next is going to be Youngji, who will end up with a double kill. 30-19, 16,000 of a lead, and this game is nearing its conclusion. 30 minutes in, I'm not exactly sure if Kopites will be able to fight back here. It's too early for this big of a lead. Youngji almost has... Oh, Youngji has a fully built up MKB.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Nas,
Top tower is under attack.
as well as the rest of Mervox, on one of the last remaining tier 2 towers
Dire's top
for Kopite. The bot lane tier 2 still stands, but it's only going to be a matter of time before Roshan respawns and before Mervox make a play for that high ground. Now, it was the high ground that Kopite held together really well last time around. Can they do it again? I'm not sure, because this is a bigger lead than Kopite were faced with last time around. Tormentor will be grabbed up too by Nas.
Dire are scanning.
Gleipnir at the ready. This time, December is so damn tanky. Helm Ibrahim has the blink as well as the glimmer cape, and is posturing towards the scepter, so it's going to be a while, right? Helm Ibrahim as a support, he's going to need at least 10 minutes. And even then, it's not guaranteed. 15 minutes for a guaranteed scepter. Kui hasn't skilled up any of his items so far, but there's an entire Lincoln Sphere coming in the courier, so the Doom is no longer a threat. And because he's playing a spirit hero, he can essentially just instantly disengage after he gets hit by any single target spell. He'll actually break all of these smokes as he remnants towards that top side. They're gonna go in with the avalanche toss. The remnant is still there. Kui will be able to disengage entirely. Chucky trying to go in for the chase, but this entire attempt is not going to be possible. For the rest of Mervox, though, they know that play was made. They'll actually go in towards Hatchet. He is going to get rooted up and taken down. In fact, Chucky trying to create a bit of distance. The Eels is going to cancel the teleport. And Chucky is as good as dead. May have the BKB, may have the wind run, but where exactly is he going to run towards? It's through the gate he's trying to go, but they will take him down. Before that, Young G was also able to pick up the support duo somewhere across the map. As Kopites, that will be the high ground play that Mervox were looking for. It was a Hail Mary gank attempt they went in for, but despite of the super long chase on the Ember, and despite of the super long chase on the Wind Ranger, it turned out to be a chase that favored Mervox.
Radiant are scanning. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle barracks are under attack. Dire's middle
Mid lane of barracks
Dire's middle barracks
expectedly to go down without much of a fight, because who really is there to be able to give a fight to Mervox currently? Their heroes are going to respawn on Kopites, as Mervox will respect that and just end up going back. Smoke is up though for Kopites. There's no Blink Dagger on this Doom. That's the problem. That's a really big problem. A lot of Dooms in the current competitive meta do not make Blink Daggers, and I find that highly surprising. Kopites inside of a smoke. Anya will go in forward. Avalanche inside of the Roche Pit. Helmi Ibrahim, he'll have the Static Storm up in about 1 second, but has nowhere to actually use it. He'll go down first. So this is a great start to a fight for Kopites. However, Jolibe is going to get picked up as the Ember Spirit Remnant on forward is going to be able to block the Doom. For Kopites, this isn't really going that well because the Nature's Prophet is still here as Chucky has the focus fire, but they will lose Hatchet soon enough. Young G is able to dish out the hits as Chucky ends up going down. Anya, one of the only last remaining survivors. Jolibe will call the triple Gs instead of just the 2. It is the good game called by Kopites. We are going to a game number 3. Mervox, this time around, they started off with the lead, or rather, they started the lead going, started the tempo going, and kept the lead. This is something they had to do the first time around. It would have been a clean sweep, but Kopites did find the comeback there. Let's see if Mervox come out with yet another advantage in the next game, or if it will be Kopites who do, because it really does seem like a lot of Kopites' mistakes here were just hesitating too much to make moves of their own. And even the few moves that they did make towards the later parts of this game were just when they were so far behind that those moves were always super difficult to make successful. New game though, anything can happen. We will be heading to a short break before we bring you game number 3 between Mervox and Kopites. Welcome back, guys, to the Grin Station Lunar Snake Trophy season number 5. We're already in the 5th season. Feel like it was just yesterday when we had the second season when I came on board, but it wasn't yesterday. It was quite a few months ago. Mervox versus Kopite 1-1. The series is tied. We have 3 whole best of 3s lined up for you. The Wikipedia says 2, but we actually have 3. I have the the super secret information, and I'm letting you guys know so that you can be prepared to tune into all 3 matches. Mervox versus Kopites has been a very back and forth series, especially game number 1. Game number 2, less so. It did seem like Kopites could have found their comeback, but they played way too passive. This is the good lineup though that Kopites are cooking up. This is a lineup designed to play aggressive. They'll have the Gyrocopter, Ringmaster for the saves, Witch Doctor, and the Axe for the aggressive potential, as Mervox will pick up the Ursa Warrior. I feel like in the current meta, we have a lot of Ursa versus Gyrocopter matchups. Mervox also coming in with the Bristleback, but it's the Berserker's Call that I'm a bit afraid of. Now, to mention, the Axe has a change in the patch. He now comes in with pure damage from his Battle Hunger rather than just magic, or rather physical damage, which is a nice little change to him, even if the Battle Hunger damage isn't what it used to be. It's still, even with the level 15 down, it can do quite a bit. 40 pure damage per second is no joke. It can be dispelled, of course, quite easily, even taken away if you kill a creep. So it's not exactly a great spell to use on a core, but a good spell to use on a support, particularly squishy supports like the Willow and the Shadow Demon that Mervox have. And the Axe has always been, despite of not being that good in the lane against the Ursa, Axe is really good with the Berserker's Call as a setup for the Ringmaster's Wheel of Wonder and for the Gyrocopter's Call down. Even for the Maledict and the Death Ward, it does seem like if Kopites get the initiation that they're looking for, there's no way that Mervox can survive. At the same time, Mervox certainly are the better team in terms of building up tempo, so maybe they can snowball at the back of this Ursa. But I think that Mervox need an extremely strong mid laner here, perhaps a Spirit or a Puck. Okay, Puck is banned, Spangolier is nerfed to the ground, maybe just a Spirit pick should be the way to go about it. Storm is up, Void Spirit is up. Kui can go for his famed Sand King, one of his most successful heroes. He also plays a mean Pangolier, but it is just going to be the Tiny. This is something that Kopites came in with in the previous 2 games. Mervox want to win the series with a flashy statement saying they know how to play with the Tiny better than Kopites do.
10 seconds remaining.
So it will certainly be
5 seconds remaining.
very interesting to see what happens there. Kopites last pick available. What mid laner will they choose to play with? It's the Void Spirit. Did expect a Spirit for the last picks. I didn't expect it for Kopites. The Storm may have been better though, easier grab with the Vortex, but the Void Spirit's Ether Remnant is a bit better because it also dishes out a bit of damage and has I believe it has a longer duration. I can't exactly be too sure, but it does feel like it has a longer duration. Let's see though. Let's see Anya with the Void Spirit. I think it is much of an even draft, but Kopites certainly do have easier ways to dish out damage. Sure, Mervox have the Ursa, but Kopites, every single one of Kopites' heroes are damage dealers at the end of the day. Even the Ringmaster, despite of being, I would say, more of a controller, the Wheel of Wonder and the Whiplash are 2 sources of big damage. The Death Ward can just
10 seconds remaining.
annihilate Mervox if they're not careful. And Mervox aren't coming in with too many stuns to disable that Death Ward. Kui has the Avalanche, the Willow has the Terrorize and the Crown and a Maze, so Willow has some control, and Shadow Demon has the Disruption. But a lot of those abilities are not going to be guaranteed disables for the Death Ward. Remember, Kui is the one who's going to be doing the initiating, so the Avalanche will already have come out. Apologies for that. My alarm started ringing out of nowhere. Kui will start a fight with the Avalanche in a toss, so the Avalanche will have already been used at the start of a fight. Helmi Ibrahim will keep the disruption for a potential save mechanism, not to mention getting to the backline to catch Jollibee's Witch Death Ward. He'll have to get a Blink Dagger, so it's not the easiest disable for the Witch Doctor. Not to mention, do you really want to pool in so many resources, so much thought on how to take the Witch Doctor's Death Ward out? When you have a gyro to contend with, an axe, and a void spirit, those are more causes of worry. And really, it seems like Mervox have to deal with so many of Kopite's heroes that they may not be in a good position in those team fights. I really do worry about Mervox's draft. Let's see though.
No. Oh, don't mind me. Just a wee favor.
As game number 3, the final game, no more chances for error. It is this game that will decide the series. Kopites are currently ahead of Mervox in the group stage. Mervox only have 1 series win and 2 series losses, so they really do need this win, particularly as we're nearing the end of the group stage. I say nearing the end, but we have still, with this series included, a whole 10 series remaining in the group stage. So there were, I believe, around 26 series total. We've already played 16, 10 remaining, including this one. But let's see. The only word I understand in that whole sentence that Anya threw out was MMR. And I'm assuming it's matchmaking rating. I'm assuming that's what he's saying. As Jollibee said the word that should not be said. You know, we don't call out Valorant here. It's just, yeah, that is the, you know, the better one, Dota. Let's see if we'll have a level 1 clash.
Забавы нет. Ни ха-ха, ни хо-хо.
不要凶嘛，我不是故意的。
A 3-man smoke comes out. A 5-man smoke, rather. As it's also a 5-man smoke by Mervox. And I think both of these two teams will run into each other. It will be the Bristleback, the first point of contact. Not exactly an easy hero to take down, but they see Kui. As everyone from Mervox has also spotted out these guys. The pings are coming up by the Tiny. They know that they're there. So I don't think they're going to fight, particularly with Young G already going through the gate. The horn has been blown, so at the end of it all, I think it's just going to be a 2-for-2 as the bounty runes are going to be an even trade. Chucky doesn't have the easy entry back into his lane, will have to go around it. As Hatchet, this is a good lane for the Axe. Sure, you have a Disruptor. Normally, you have the Shadow Poison, but the Shadow Poison has also been nerfed. I believe the damage is a lot less. Young G has the Earthshock, but doesn't actually have the Fury Swipes up. But maybe with the Earthshock slow, he can take Cassie down. And Cassie, 2 more hits rather, and Cassie will end up dropping. I think another Earthshock, Young G should be able to pick up the kill, but Cassie comes out with the Blood Grenade and has the Healing Salve. So in fact, it might just end up being Young G who'll take a bow. Helmi Ibrahim is also low. Young G is not going to fall, but it will be first blood drawn on Helmi Ibrahim, and the Battle Hunger might just take out Young G. Right now, the level 1, or rather, the level 1 Battle Hunger cannot do more damage than the Tango Heal does. So Yongji will stay safe, but they they calculated a play that did not work out in their favor. Bury the hatchet. Will spot out Yongji, canceling his salve. And they're just trying to run after the Ursa. Has the battle hunger now up, to trading against Hatchet may not be the best of ideas, particularly if you're very low on your HP. I think Yongji should just cool or just slow his roll here, you know. Mid lane, again, Kui with the Tiny against this Void Spirit is kind of doing okay, I suppose. Should be doing okay. I don't see any reason why Kui should lose the lane. I don't see any reason why Anya should lose the lane. Both of these two heroes are pretty much have the survivability built in. Anya with the spells and Kui with his natural tankiness. 1000 HP at the level 3 mark with just 3 branches. This is a lot of HP for the Tiny. Meanwhile, a bit of poke and prod once again happening towards that bot side. But towards that top lane, it is the Gyrocopter who is winning the CS exchange. Nas is just pushed back all the way as there will be a creep wave coming in. Chucky will chase after Playhard, who goes in for the Shadow Realm, has the ability to take down the courier and will just be able to teleport back to his fountain rather than the tier 1 tower. Meanwhile, Jollibee comes in, has the Maledict planted down, the Rocket Barrage. It might just be enough damage. Nas is dead. Can try to take Jollibee down before he goes, but was able to get the kill only after he died. So he didn't actually get any experience. Now, he did get a lot of gold going his way, so I suppose that's at least something. But over on the bot lane, this is where the real win is happening for Kopites. They have Yongji pinned. Yongji doesn't have too much CS, only 9 CS to his name. As Hatchet Wait for it. Wait for it. Yongji. Still playing pretty careful here. Play hard. Will be entering the Shadow Realm just to be able to dodge things out. It is Kopites who are applying pressure across the entire map. Even towards the mid lane trade, maybe even, but this will favor Kopites because the Void Spirit just needs his level 6 to rotate. The Tiny needs his Blink Dagger. Hatchet. I don't think creating illusions of the axe is the right idea because you essentially, you know, with those illusions hitting the axe, the counter helixes come out faster. As Nats goes down towards that top side, even Play Hard will fall. Jollibee this time around will not die. He'll actually end up with a double kill. As towards that bot lane, Helmi Ibrahim is in trouble. Battle hungered up. He has a disruption, but I think he will fall. Cassie to end up with a kill as it's 1-5 right now for Kopites. They are doing pretty darn well here, all things considered. And things are not looking too good for Mervox. But with Cassie stuck between the support duo of Mervox, he should just end up going down. Even if he can throw out the Whiplash, in the end, this is a good return kill to find. They also found Jollibee towards the side, so this will be the second kill. They'll grab it, they'll mitigate a lot of that lead. As it was Kui who picked up the kill. Now Kui needs to survive, is the big problem. And he can't. there's an amplified damage rune up for the Void Spirit. Kui will end up going down to one more swipe by Anya. The Void Spirit will pick up the kill, and I will turn my alarms off. I don't know why there are so many at this time. Anya,
Radiant's middle tower
level 1 Shadow Realm hit wasn't really going to do anything to him.